And welcome to episode 1 of GamersArcadia Show. This is a new video series from GamersArcadia.com. I am Michael Vash 7886, and I am joined today by Roto.
Yes, and we are starting a whole new thing.
Yes, we're gonna hopefully between the two of us, and we're hoping to get some other people involved. We're gonna just have a lot more time for this type of thing. So. The stress isn't all on one person to get everything done. So that way, I'm hoping that we'll be able to alternate enough that we won't really have to worry about, constantly doing all this video editing and whatnot. Because for those that don't know, it is very time-consuming sometimes. So just to get us started off, this is going to be an every other week show currently. We might switch to weekly if things go well and we get people involved and all that type of stuff. But currently, we're shooting for every 2 weeks. So, that being said, we are going to go into what we're going to be seeing this week. And first up, a preview of Bleach, and then Bleach Soul Resurrection for the PS3. Then Roto and I will come back, and we will be talking about the Uncharted 3 beta. He and I have both put some time in, and so we're going to discuss that and what our thoughts are on that. And I'm hoping to have a Dungeon Siege 3 review in the next few days. This show just got too long to have it here.
After the war at the Soul Society, Ichigo Kurosaki returns to the world of the living. However, Aizen has used the Hogyoku to create...
And so begins Bleach Soul Resurrection. This game focuses on the Hueco Mundo arc of Bleach, which the English dub is currently still on, so spoilers will be in the latter part of the game for people that are watching the English dub. The story is told via the screen with the scrolling text that you just saw in a voiceover, and here you can see the moves that are available for Ichigo. This is a third-person action game, focuses on the player making their way through lots of enemies, and in most cases finishing the level with some sort of boss or, a big fight. So as you can see here, the game looks pretty good graphically. It stays very true to the style that the show is in. You can see, Ichigo's character model really pops out against this gray background of Hueco Mundo. And down at the bottom, the characters are chattering and trying to recreate a humorous scene from the show. It doesn't quite pull it off the way the show did, but fans of the show will kind of know where it's from. Here, I'm really just trying to show you, what exactly Ichigo can do, because I'm sure some of you haven't seen any video from this game at all. I was just throwing out some Getsugo Tenchu, and then that is the special move you can do with the O button. And here I'm going to do some flash steps. And that's the way you dodge. You don't just roll or step out of the way, you actually teleport. So, and then the dash. You end up using that a decent bit, just because there are some areas where either you don't care about fighting the minor enemies, or there are no enemies that you cleared out or something. Keep in mind, Ichigo here is level 23. This is the first chapter in the game, but I've leveled him up through playing the game and stuff you obviously won't see in the video here. And so it's going to be a lot easier than the actual playing through the level is. And I'm really not even trying that hard with Ichigo, just because I am so leveled up to this point where I can just make mincemeat of all these little guys in particular, even some of the latter enemies in this level. But as you can see, you can really get combo going. I think at one point in this level, I'm not sure if we'll have it in the final video, but at one point in this level I have, 150 or something combo. I know there's once or twice I've gotten well over 200 in a combo. It just depends on the level and how well you can link your attacks. But the little green stuff I keep getting is soul points, and you use those to level up your character. And those points are only for Ichigo, so the points I'm picking up here will not help Uryu or anybody else level up. But I'm going to go ahead and skip to the boss section of this level. And Ichigo is going to be taking on a Minos Grande. And as you can see, right here. And we're not even going to get the full fight, I do want to show you guys another character before we move on to the next section. But as you can see, you know, they still have the in-game cinematics, and you know, ultimately it looks pretty good. And this is a good example of what the lock-on can do. You know, all the attacks, like projectile attacks, like Getsuko Tenchu and whatnot, are focused on the whoever you're attacking, you're locking onto, and dashes you make will be toward that. So if like it locks onto the Minos' head, that makes you obviously jump up in the air. And I'm gonna kind of leave you guys with a cliffhanger here, and we're gonna move on to Uryu Ishida. And as you can see, his control scheme, it'll give you this before every level starting up, so you can you know, familiarize yourself with what you can do with this character. And we're not going to stick around with him too long, just because his preview's been on for a while now. But I did want to, you know, just kind of show you guys some of this and how it all kind of works. He's using his Zealous Knight, I believe, when he you know, when he does a melee attack, which you saw just a second there. But most of Iryu's attacks often focus on, you know, the arrows, but you got to be careful with those, just because they are taking your spiritual pressure down. Again, this will probably look fairly easy. The opening chapters, I will admit, are relatively easy, but Uryu is about level 4, I would think he is, yes. And you know, I'm just trying to show you guys some of the attacks he can do, just because actually that one I actually had never even used before, so I was surprised when I actually got it to work. But as you can see, using his Zealous Knight, and but I would think the majority of the time you're going to be using his arrows there, his Quincy bow and arrows. And as you can kind of maybe hear, probably not, because I think I turned the sound down just a bit too low, but there is a Japanese voice choice, and I need to make sure I turn the sound just enough so you can hear some of this. So yes, those of you that are fans of the Japanese voices, you can use them throughout the game. But I'm going to start wrapping things up here. You know, as you can see, Uryu and Ichigo play a bit differently. With the Uryu, like I say, I tended to focus a lot more on the arrows, just because they were so quick hit, and you could hit multiple enemies and whatnot. But Ichigo, you know, you could use your sword a lot more. But his reach is pretty short with that Zealous Knight. But, you know, you can get in and do some damage. And here in a second, you'll see me block, and you can actually hurt the enemies with your block. It's a very small amount, but it is useful for some of the really, really minuscule enemies. But, you know, overall, I gotta say, I'm enjoying my time with the game. I still have a bit more to play before I'm ready to give you guys a review. But I believe that is embargoed until August 2nd. That's the game, the day this game hits shelves. So it is only for PS3, but if you're a Bleach fan, I mean, it's something definitely to look into, especially if you've been watching the Japanese dub, because spoilers won't be nearly as big a deal. My real concern right now is that the game's going to just end up being a bit repetitive, kind of, you know, like the Dynasty Warriors syndrome, if you will. But, like I say, Uryu and Ichigo both play pretty differently. There are some other characters in the game that I can tell you guys about. Well, actually, I'm not sure what I can exactly mention off the top of my head, but needless to say, there are plenty of other characters, and the majority of them do have something different. You know, whether it be how far away they can attack, or you know, what exactly their moves do, and oftentimes that really alters your strategy and can, you know, make the game easier or more difficult depending on how your playstyle is. But with that, we are going to move on to our Uncharted 3 discussion. And so we are back from the Bleach preview, and now we're going to take a few minutes and talk about the Uncharted 3 beta. We're just going to go through, you know, what were your general impressions, Roto, so far of the beta?
Now my impressions are a bit different than maybe everyone else's who's been super excited for it, because personally, besides one of the sneaking missions, I never really got into the Uncharted games until now, only because a friend of mine's been really into it. But it's definitely been fun. And I think the stages are really well done. The two stages that are playable, of course, the airplane craziness one and the
Chateau.
in the mansion, yeah. And out of the two, I think the first segment of the airplane one is just really awesome. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to get the bearings, but jumping from the car to car is really cool. But out of anything, my most satisfying thing from the demo is the high five maneuver that they've added. I think that's so cool.
That is just so random right now. I hadn't really paid attention to some of the stuff, so when I was in the game, I saw that, and I'm like, what is that? And then it's like, oh, okay. But, yeah, I have to agree. The opening section of the airstrip is just awesome. I mean, this plane is driving down this runway, and you got a bunch of cars following it, and you're jumping around from those cars. You're inside the plane trying to fight people off the cars. It's crazy. And then it's kind of almost a letdown when you get to the airstrip, the airport part itself. But I mean, it's actually a really cool level overall. But, I mean, Chateau is pretty cool too. I really am digging both maps, though I wish we had another one, which I think we're getting.
Nice.
But so obviously one of the pros we just mentioned are obviously the maps. But what else do you have specifically that you're really digging in the beta?
I like how did the second one's multiplayer have a bit of the customization for your characters?
No, that's brand new.
Okay, well then I definitely like that feature. I like how you're able to unlock new abilities for your characters too.
Well, you could get abilities, yeah, but it wasn't quite nearly as extensive, especially the aesthetic customization stuff. Like,
yeah.
There's a big thing in that in the final game.
But, I mean, gameplay-wise, though, it flows all pretty smoothly. I mean, I noticed it takes a little bit extra shots to kill a guy, but, I'm sure that'll all be worked out. That or I'm just terrible.
Well, it does. It takes a little bit to get used to, and I think part of that's a little bit of lag. It might have been fixed a little bit by this latest patch. I don't know. I just know I was having the same problem, and then one day last week, I just started, like, me and another guy went on, like, just a tear and 3-team deathmatch. And that's actually, by the way, a really fun mode. If you've got just one other person for a buddy, 3-team deathmatch is a lot of fun. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to ask you what your favorite of the modes that were playable were.
Oh, that's probably it right now. Though I will say I'm really liking some of the other stuff they're doing, like the co-op mode. You don't just play Siege or or Objective or something like that. It constantly switches each round. So you might go King of the Hill, and then you might go Siege, and then you might go something else. And so I'm obviously looking forward to the story co-op modes, but the co-op mode itself is pretty cool. And Team Objective this week is pretty cool. It's kind of the same thing in co-op, but you've got two teams duking it out.
True. I like the co-op mode.
Yeah, the co-op mode is a lot of fun. Though I will say, right now, the enemies spam rockets way too much.
Yeah, that's true.
They spam rockets way too much. But I mean, like we said, you kind of said, the only thing I really wasn't liking as much was the fact of how many bullets it was taking to kill. But I don't know if that's been adjusted or I've just gotten better or what. And unless you've got something else, Roto, I think.
What do you think about the Uncharted TV feature of the thing?
I'm not really sure what to make of that, because I'm not exactly sure what exactly they're doing with that. I mean, are they going to be showing, like, maybe your friends, like, cool stuff, or are they just going to show random stuff from the trailer or game, or are they just going to totally eliminate that when the final game comes out? That's what I'm curious about.
It'd be a bummer if they eliminated it. I would like to see some maybe customization for it, because it's a cool feature.
Yeah, it is a really cool feature, and I'm curious. Like I say, I'm really curious to see exactly what they do with it. Because, like, if they have, like, your highlights or, like, kill of the day or something like that, that could be really cool.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to go on and finish up our chat on Uncharted 3. I did want to say, if you guys have some ideas on, let us know what you think of the beta. You can, comment here, obviously, or you can come to our site and hop on the forums. We can discuss it there. And, Roto, what should they do if they want to contact us?
If you guys want to hit us directly, you can email us at ga@gamersarcadia.com and let us know if you got anything you want us to say or put on the show.
Yeah, that would be, viewer mail or comments or questions or what you liked, what you didn't like, constructive criticism, all that kind of stuff. So, And with that, we are going to sign this out. Again, any feedback or anything like that, please send it over to ga@gamersarcadia.com. I'll put I'll put that in the description as well. But if you guys have any questions for us to answer on the show next week, or next time rather, or just comments, anything like that, please feel free. And like I say, check back in a few days. I should have a Dungeons 3 review. I just did not have time to put it in this show because things just ran a bit longer than I expected. So thanks, guys, and have a